Good morning. Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. I'm Owen James. This is your everyday Rangers news channel, bringing you all the latest from the club, bringing you concrete stories, bringing you rumours, bringing you opinions. It's all free. We don't charge you for any of the content. So if you enjoy finding out, talking Rangers, listening to Rangers news, this is the channel for you. Please just smash that sub. We are completely independent. We're not beholden to anybody. Guys, sponsors, we're not beholden to them. We're not beholden to the club. We're not beholden to anybody. We say what we think and we think what we say. I don't know whether that is right or not. My head's blown. Right, look, you know what? We're going to talk signings today. We're going to talk, obviously, the signing of Joe Rothwell and Emmanuel Fernandez. 2 signings yesterday. Yes, that's right. Like buses, you wait all day and then 2 come along at once. We're going to talk possible links as well. 2 players that have been linked with the move to the club. One, an exciting young attacking midfield player from England. And another one, another English player linked with the club. Well, actually a Welsh player, Welsh international, who's previously worked with Russell Martin, whose transfer's fallen through. And it looks like he has dropped a huge hint that he wants to come and link up with his former boss, Russell Martin, again. We're going to talk a little bit of that as well. So look, let's start off with the news, of course, that came a bit out of left field last night. We're doing the live podcast last night. We're talking, and it suddenly came from the live chat. Fernandez confirmed. Fernandez signed. Fernandez is coming to the club. And I was like, who? Surely not Rafael Fernandez again after he just, yes, Mr. The Scarlet Pimpernel, who didn't seem to play any part. And then when he did play was absolutely shocking. The signing that made 0 sense in January. No, not him. A new Fernandez, an Emmanuel Fernandez. And here is with Peterborough United. That's who he was with previously. He's come to Rangers. And I've got to say, I didn't see this one coming. Did not see it coming in the slightest, this move. I know that Rangers had allegedly been talking to Peterborough about the lad and, that this was potentially on the cards. I saw that, but I didn't see it being announced last night. It suddenly just came out of left field. It suddenly happened and there we go. It was suddenly announced that he was going to sign for the club. So, Emmanuel Fernandez, he looks a good young prospect. He looks an exciting young player. He's 23 years old. So all of those people who've been saying, we're only signing old players, we're only signing decaying players, retirement players. Well, this lad's 23 years old. His name is Emmanuel Opeyemi Fernandez. That's his full name. He is confirmed. It is a confirmed signing, guys. He is listed now as a Rangers player. You can go on the Rangers website and see the photographs of him being announced. You can see the comments of our manager, Russell Martin, the comments of our sporting director, Kevin Thelwell, about this young lad. Like I said, he's 23 years old. He's 6'4", so he's a big old unit. Something that Rangers do lack is height. Obviously, with the departure of the likes of Leon Balogun, for example. So Emmanuel Fernandez. Emmanuel Fernandez will certainly bring some height to the team and some strength to the team. He joined, obviously, 2025. No word as yet as to how long the contract is. However, it is an undisclosed fee again. As we've seen with many of these players now, many of these deals, it is undisclosed. He has English and Nigerian citizenship. In terms of his playing career, where he's been, Mr. Emmanuel Fernandez, he spent time with Brentford and Gillingham as a youth, came through the ranks there, was released in the end by Gillingham and went to play non-league football for the likes of Ramsgate, Sheppey, and was eventually picked up by Barnet, played some games for Barnet, and then was signed by Peterborough. He then made 61 appearances for Peterborough, scoring 7 goals in his time for Peterborough. He can play centre-back, he can play right-back. Of the majority of his appearances, though, have been as a centre-back, 53 of them in total for Peterborough as a centre-back. He's had experience playing in League One, in the EFL Trophy, in the National League, in the FA Cup, in the EFL Cup, in the Youth Cup, FA Youth Cup, the Championship, and in the League One playoffs. I know what everyone's going to say. They're going to say, "Oh, it's another lower division, lower league, it's another lower league signing. It's another lower league signing." Well, you can sometimes pick up some very good players from the lower leagues. Leicester, well, Fleetwood, I think it was, actually signed him. Signed a certain non-league player called Jamie Vardy, who went on to be a very fine footballer. Crystal Palace signed a non-league striker called Ian Wright, who went on to have a very successful career with Arsenal in England. Matt O'Reilly, I know he went to them, but he came from League One as well. So please, let's not rule League One out as a site of duffers. You know, it's not a site where we're going to find players who are poor. You know, the English leagues are very, very competitive, very, very competitive. And like I said, you know, this is a good, exciting signing, a good quality player. 23 years old, exciting. Now, he spoke last night very much about his excitement at joining Rangers, about what a great club it was, about being excited at the size of the club, the challenge. You know, he's making all the right noises about being a Rangers player. And it was interesting that both Kevin Thelwell and Russell Martin commented on the need to develop him, to improve him, to make him better, to make him, and confident that they can do that they can turn him into a quality player. Russell Martin said, Emmanuel is a young defender with a huge amount of potential, and I'm excited to welcome him to the club. He has a strong physical presence and is a commanding defender, and I believe in this environment we can help him develop and provide him with the opportunities to take his game to the next level, which to me sounds like he is big, he's strong, he's quick, he's good with the ball at his feet, which is what Russell Martin likes, and that he's going to actually play him and use him, that he's not just a player to make up the numbers. This is a player that has been signed to play. He says, I'm looking forward to welcoming him into the group and getting to work. Kevin Thelwell added, I'm delighted Emmanuel has joined the club. He is really promising, a young defender who we hope can have a big future at the football club. We have been impressed with his development and a journey from non-league football to League One, and the dedication, work rate and ambition he has shown. I'm excited to see what he can achieve here at Rangers with the support of the staff and off the pitch. And I think that's something, you know, we must not underestimate, you know, is that desire to succeed. You know, this is a guy who was released. This is a guy who has come back from being released and has fought his way back into the Football League system, been a success in that Football League system, and now has joined one of the biggest clubs in Europe. So huge news. And, you know, like I said, a really positive day yesterday. You know, people have been questioning the speed of the signings, the lack of signings. Well, now we're up to 3 guys, or 4, if you include Oscar Cortez. Obviously, Joe Rothwell joined yesterday. There's a video obviously out about that. We did a video a while ago about Joe Rothwell joining, so I'm not going to dwell too much on that one. But yeah, I personally, I do like the signing of Joe Rothwell. I think he's a very good footballer. And if you listen to Leeds United fans talk about him, they rave about him. They say he's a quality player, that he's better than Glenn Kamara, that he's got class, that he bosses the midfield, that he's a very good player. So look, I've got no doubts that Joe Rothwell will go on to be a huge success for Rangers. But yeah, 2 signings, 2 good signings by the club yesterday, and it's exciting, it's positive, it's a big move forward, guys, and I'm enthusiastic about these signings. I really am. Right, so let's talk a little bit about further rumours. I mean, look, we all want a striker, so Dor Turgeman, Keb Mater-Fregan, we hope those ones come off eventually. Like I said, I think a lot depends on what happens with Hamza. A lot depends on what happens with Cyril Dessers moving forward with those players. But we do seem to be excited to really be entering this new era, you know, of these young, hungry or experienced pros that are coming into the club, that are bringing experience, that are bringing winners' experience. This is the other thing, you know, Peterborough, they won the EFL trophy last season. They had a relatively successful season. They brought through some good young players. Kavama Poku, who we missed out on. You know, Rothwell won the EFL Championship. You know, he's going to be coming off the back of a winning mentality. You know, this is what we're bringing to the club. Rothwell, leader, winner, bringing him into the club. Exactly what we need. Fernandez, young, exciting, up and coming, strong, physical. Exactly what we need coming into the club. Another player who has been rumoured as a possible target for Rangers. And this is just a rumour. This is just a story. And I'm not saying this is a definite. What I'm doing is I'm kind of passing comment on it, giving my opinion on it. Is this young man here. This is a player called Theo Osgard. Yes, I've got to say, I do love that name. It's got Viking potential, hasn't it? It really has. You know, I've got to say, you know, personally, I love the whole Viking thing. You know, I've got Viking heritage in my family, and I love the whole Viking Asgard. So his full name is Thelonious Gerard Asgard. I mean, he's even got a fantastic middle name, Gerard. I mean, you can't get any better than that. He's 23 years old. So again, he's a young, exciting, up-and-coming player. He's from Liverpool. A fine city that produces a lot of good footballing talent. He's 6'2", so again, he's a big guy. He's a physical guy. He's a big, strong guy. His youth career was with Liverpool and Wigan. He was released by Liverpool, was picked up by Wigan. From Wigan, he went to Luton Town. Even though he's born in Liverpool, he has played for Norway. That's right. He has played for Norway. So I guess you're all asking me, well, how the hell is he Norwegian? Well, Asgard was born in Liverpool, England, and is of Norwegian descent through his father and French descent through his mother. So his dad's Norwegian, his mum's French. So that's how he represents Norway. He's played for Norway under 16, under 20, under 21 level, and has had one cap and one goal for the full Norwegian national team. So that, of course, means that he has played for and with Erling Haaland. Now, according to a number of reports, there are talks for this player, Thelonious Asgard, with Rangers. Rangers have been interested in the player. Like I said, he is a Norwegian international, and he is an attacking midfield player, an area that yes, Lyle Cameron can play there. But also, we've got Nadim Bayrami, who many people feel should be moved on, and Theo Osgard could be a player that could be coming in and could be that potential attacking midfield player. Now, according to the Daily Mail in England and the Daily Telegraph in England as well, it's been reported that Rangers are in talks with Luton over the signing of Theo Osgard. Now, he only joined Luton in January for £3 million from Wigan, so there's probably some profit looking for there, although Luton have just been relegated to League One from the Championship, so they will be looking to cut their costs accordingly. So the fact that he's also dropped out of the Championship and has gone down to League One is another reason why he'll be looking to move on, because I think obviously playing in League One is not going to do your international chances, especially with Norway, who have some top class talent, like for example Martin Odegaard, Erling Haaland. Is that the guy's name? Sure, that's his name. Haaland. Anyway, yeah, Erling Haaland. They're gonna. I can't think of his dad's name for a minute, but yeah, this is a player that could well be on the move. Now, Asgard is a player who, like I said, he made his breakthrough at Wigan. That's where he came through the system after being released by Liverpool. Made 164 appearances for Wigan, scored 32 goals in that time. He moved to Luton in January, scored twice in 17 games, but like I said, couldn't stop them from being relegated, unfortunately. Like I said, he is a player who can play a number of different positions. He can play attacking midfield. That's his main position, central midfield. And he can also play left wing as well. His current market value is around 2 million because of the relegation. His market value has depreciated a little bit. And like I said, Luton may be looking to cut their costs accordingly. With Wigan, like I said, he had 163 appearances, 30 goals, 11 assists, 41 goal contributions in 163, 3 goal contributions in 17 for Luton. This is, again, a very exciting, very young attacking player. It seems that Rangers are going down this idea of mixing, aren't they? Rothwell, experience. Fernandez, young. Asgard, young. These are the types of players we seem to be going for. And personally, I've got to say, I've just done a little bit of research into this guy. Having sort of looked at what people have said on the live chat, what I've read in the papers, trying to find out a little bit more of him. I'm not saying he's definitely coming, but it does appear that this could possibly be a target. And if it is a target, it's a very exciting player to be targeting. Right. Let's finish with another target. Yes, guys, more targets. This one is David Brooks. And yes, you recognise that strip. Bournemouth. So could we bring a third Bournemouth player to the club? Yes, not one, not two, but 3 Bournemouth players. I've got to say, I do like Bournemouth. Very different to Glasgow, though. It's by the coast. It's a beautiful place to go. I've been there on holiday many times with my family. David Brooks. Now, David Brooks was off to West Brom. Apparently a fee had been agreed by Bournemouth with West Brom, and he looked to be joining West Brom in the EFL Championship this summer. However, it now appears that that move has fallen through, that it has collapsed, that it has ended, that there is that it's not going to happen. Now, David Brooks, he's the player who came back from having cancer. Obviously, a disease is very close to my heart. And he came through that cancer and he survived and he came back to play football, and he's done exceptionally well since coming back and surviving cancer, which is fantastic. It's amazing that he's done that. He has had time at Southampton on loan under, yes, you guessed it, under Russell Martin. And is a huge fan of Russell Martin's, a massive, massive fan of Russell Martin's. And Russell Martin is a big fan of his as well. Now, when he was at Southampton playing for Russell Martin said this about David Brooks: "If I had the opportunity, I'd sign Brooksy to a contract that he has to stay with me until he retires. But that's not an option here at Southampton at the moment. There's no option at all. I really enjoy working with him as a player and as a person. He's fantastic. He's even better than I thought he was. I had a really high opinion of him in the first place." So it appears that Russell Martin loves David Brooks, and it appears that David Brooks loves Russell Martin as well. So that's interesting. Now, this is what David Brooks said. He said when he was asked would he work with Russell Martin again, he said, "If he wants to, I'm open to it." So it sounds very much like David Brooks is a player that Russell Martin likes and a player that likes Russell Martin. So what do we know about David Brooks other than the fact that he had cancer and he survived it? Well, he's 27, so again, he's a bit more experienced than Osgard, than Fernandez, than Aarons to some extent as well. Okay, so again, this is a bit more down the experience line. He is a winger. He's a right winger as well, a position that Rangers are very short in. If you look at our depth chart at the moment, who have we got to play right wing? Bobby Matondo, maybe. Kieran Dowell, and Ross McCausland. No disrespect to Ross, but I don't think he's a starter by any stretch of the imagination. Now, David Brooks, like I said, primarily a right winger, can also play as an attacking midfielder, can also play as a second striker, Welsh international as well. Again, another international player being brought in. Came for the youth system at Manchester City, spent time at Sheffield United, had loan time at Halifax, and then joined Bournemouth for around about €11 million, which is about £9-10 million. Went on loan to Southampton and is now with Bournemouth again. He's under contract until his contract expires next year, so he's in the last year of his contract. So the fee for him is not going to be astronomical because he's only got 12 months left on his deal. Okay. He would be slightly more expensive than some, probably looking about £6-7 million for this player, okay, if he was to come into the club. In terms of his, like I said, his playing experience, in terms of what he's done in his playing career, where he's been, what he's succeeded with, his stats, shall we say. He's played Premier League football, Championship football, FA Cup football, EFL Cup football. He's played in the National League, he's played in the Championship playoffs, he's played in the EFL Trophy, and he's also played in League One. He's played 147 games for Bournemouth, scored 22 goals and 17 assists, 37 games for Sheffield United, 3 goals, 8 assists, and 20 games for Southampton under Russell Martin, 2 goals, 6 assists in that time. Performance by competition, worth looking at the Premier League. Well, he made 87 Premier League appearances, scoring 11 goals with 6 assists. So clearly, no mug. Looks a good player. Very interesting that this has come up as a link. Like I said, it is very much based on the fact that this move to West Brom has fallen through. Wow. Whistle stop tour, guys. Look, exciting times to be a Rangers fan. Rothwell, Fernandez, Aarons all through the door. Confirmed. Could it be Osgard? Could it be Turgeman, Freegan, Brooks? Who could be next for Rangers? That is the big question I think that most Rangers fans are asking. And how many more could come through the door ahead of the Panathinaikos game? Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts. Please drop me a comment. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. As always, if you've got something to say, drop me a comment. And if you've enjoyed it, like, comment, share, and subscribe. But always remember, we are the people.